anyway, y'all, my bad. Anything I'm showing you today can be direct sown out into the garden. Oh, I did this in the community section. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. And y'all, it's late in the evening, right? But I sat around all day and just kind of relaxed. I needed to relax, and so that is what I did. And so now I'm up and I'm like, maybe I should get some work done. Maybe I should get some seeds started. We are 2 weeks away from our last frost here. I am so excited. Now, I do not plant out until May, but I do start my seeds based off my last frost date. I did one time start my seeds based off of May, but I decided that I didn't like how late I got my actual harvest. So we're starting from our last frost date. And so tonight we are going to get some of those seeds started. I don't know if we're going to do that together, but I'm for sure going to tell you what I am starting. In case you're in my area, I am in Virginia Zone 7B. So with that being said, we're going to get some seeds started tonight. The other thing I did earlier today is I did up pot my tomatoes. So I will show y'all the tomatoes. They will end up going outside tomorrow, just like all the rest of the seedlings. If we get between 40, well, under like 40 degrees, then I will bring them inside because I don't want them to get too cold, or I don't want the weather to end up changing and drastically and going down into the 30s. And then I have my summer or warm loving plants outside. Yeah, I'm going to show y'all the tomatoes. I ended up with, I think, 5 trays of tomatoes and zinnias. Most of it is tomatoes though. So I'm super excited. By the way, the Supremo tomatoes, I think I told y'all, my son had got them for me, I want to say for Christmas. The germination rate was terrible. And I normally don't even pay attention to the germination rate, y'all, but it was so bad that you couldn't not notice it. Like, that's how bad it was. I did decide I'm not starting any more seedlings because some seeds that were either saved, I saved them, or they were old. I put more than one seed into the sale and a lot of them germinated. And so with that being the case, we're gonna go with what we have. Cause like I said, we have 5 trays of tomatoes. So whatever we have is what we are going to plant out. So that's what we're gonna get to. I'm gonna tell you what we're planting. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna plant the ones that's 2 weeks out. I'm super excited for this idea because I think it's really gonna save space, and I also think that it's going to save me time potting up since we're so close planning out date. So anyway, before we get started though, I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare, and I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you've never heard of Skillshare, Skillshare offers creative classes to hobbyists, creative professionals, and everyone in between. I am really honing in on that creative professionals part these days. I've really started focusing on moving my career forward. So that means being able to offer merchandise. That means learning new editing tips and tricks and more skills. And Skillshare is the perfect platform for me because I can learn whenever and wherever I want, whenever I have the time. They have a wide yet structured and curated catalog of classes that I can take anytime. In the last few months, I've been focusing on getting my Shopify store set up so that I could offer merch. I learned how to set that store up from using Skillshare. I actually took the Shopify e-commerce for beginners class. I am very close to getting that shop set up. I just have to get things in order on my side, but Skillshare was very pivotal to me getting to this point. But until I'm ready, I went ahead and I pivoted, y'all. And I am currently taking Davinci Resolve 20 Masterclass, the complete video editing and color grading 2026. And y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was so amazed to learn things that I did not know. And I have been using Davinci for quite some time. If you've been around for a while, you know I had to switch to Davinci a little while ago. But y'all, I learned about settings that I needed to change. I learned about an easier way to import my videos. This class was very helpful for me. The instructor even provided us with raw files of sound effects, of graphics, overlays, keyboard shortcuts, and a whole bunch more. And the funny thing is, even though I've been using Davinci Resolve for all all this time. There are actually parts in Davinci Resolve that I did not know existed, or I was scared to use because it just seemed to be very difficult. And this is gonna make it so much easier on me. And I honestly wish I knew about Skillshare when I first started using Davinci. And just like when I started the Shopify class, I ended up pivoting my whole day to learning this new skill and learning a better way to edit. I was really enjoying producing a project alongside the instructor that I think I'm going to be very proud of. Skillshare has creative classes taught by world-class creatives like professional illustrators, renowned graphic designers, and successful entrepreneurs. It is the best way to learn a new skill or pick up a new hobby. If you are looking to reconnect with your creativity or just avoid brain rot, Skillshare is where humans come to learn from humans, not AI. So if you are interested in getting started with Skillshare, the first 500 people to use the link in the description or to scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. And so I want to thank Skillshare once again for teaching me a new way to edit and for sponsoring this video. Now, what seeds are we starting, y'all? This is always so exciting. I need to drink my coffee. This is decaf. Yes, like I said, it is evening time. I have sat around. I have done much of nothing all day. I rested, so I can't say nothing. I can say I didn't work or do anything super productive. Well, I take that back. I did my tomatoes. Oh, I did harvest my chives. I put a short up today where I had harvested my chives. Those chives grew so fast. And if you remember, or you might not remember because I didn't do a video. I think I posted it on Instagram. Anyway, y'all, my bad. I separated the chives that were in the yellow green stalk and then I put some in the white green stalk. So all of those chives are from the yellow green stalk and they grew that fast. Y'all, we're gonna have so many chives. I'm planning to put them into the freeze dryer. Somebody asked me, was I gonna do freeze dry videos? I am. I feel like I need to have used it enough. That's an investment. When I talk about things being an investment, that freeze dryer is an investment that I did invest in. It was not given to me. It was not a part of a sponsorship. I'm not affiliated or anything. I purchased it because I wanted to start to actually preserve food that I was going to use. And after watching videos and stuff like that, I was like, now this is something I think that I would use, like I would preserve and also use. And I have been. I do plan to do it, y'all. Just give me some time. I would hate to steer someone in the direction of a very expensive product and then I come back and be like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't think that's gonna happen. I have preserved a lot of food already, so I don't think that's gonna happen, but at the same time I want to be 100% sure. Okay, so 2 weeks before my last frost, what am I starting? And where am I? I think I said it, but I'm not sure. I'm in Virginia Zone 7B. Now, if you remember, if you've been here for a while, we are putting squash and zucchini into the greenhouse earlier than they should be and before our last frost, our predicted last frost. But anyway, so with that being said, let's go ahead and start with the squash and zucchini varieties that I'm going to put in. Now, if you saw my original video of like what I'm starting, some of these are new and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I just want to see what will grow. Kind of like what I did with my broccoli over the fall. If you're not new here, I want to see what will grow the best. So somebody gave me these. I think they were sent to me. It is a scallop variety. You can see it. I really don't remember the name and it's in your face, not mine at this point. But it's called Patterson Gold Marble. Marbre, probably saying that wrong. Anyway, never had success with scallop squash. I do like squash. I'm just trying to find the variety that works best for me. I think we have 5 here total. I have no idea how you say that, but we're gonna try this one too. Not really sure where they came from, but the seeds are from 2020. So if you sent me them, thank you very much. Then we have a yellow scallop squash. So we're gonna try that too. I'm excited. Oh, the Costa Romanesco. Excited to try that as well. And then these Emerald Delights, these are actually, I'm gonna try some in the greenhouse as well, in the quick tent greenhouse, but these also did pretty well in the green stalks. There have been people who have said I wouldn't try squash in the green stalks because they get really heavy. I did squash in the green stalks in the fall. These will go in the green stalks in the fall, but I did squash in the green stalks like, well, late summer, early fall last year. year, they did amazing. They did not knock over my green stock, like they didn't weigh them over. I did end up having to stake them with bamboo stakes, but they grew just fine. And these are kind of, I guess, a miniature variety. I don't want to say miniature, but they're a smaller variety too. I will tell you that. I'm trying to see what it said. Small on space. This is a compact hybrid, but extremely productive. So I maybe wouldn't grow a really big one that grows really big vines. And maybe I would if I let it trail on the ground. I plan to try, and last year I tried everything I could in the time frame that I had the green stalks. But yeah, these grew really well, and they are from botanical interest. So if you want to try zucchini or squash in the green stock and you are nervous, try a smaller variety. Well, not a smaller variety, but a variety that grows more compact, because that's what I did, and they did just fine. Just throwing that out there. And then we're gonna do cucumbers, and this is a Space Saver 80 cucumber. And so this is a smaller one too, and it's a very compact bushy cucumber. I plan to try these in the green stalks as well, but I'm also going to plant them out in the garden. I don't know that I've ever grown a bush variety of cucumber. I'm really not sure, but we are going to try that this year. And okay, also let me say, anything I'm showing you today can be direct sown out into the garden. I don't direct sow because I don't remember to water. That's why I'm going to start these indoors. Some of them, the gardening rules say do not start them indoors. Every last one of these I have started indoors and I have transplanted out. If you don't want to, please don't. But I do, and I have, and they work just fine. So the next thing we're gonna go to are our melons. We are gonna go with the muskmelon, which is pretty much just a cantaloupe. My daughter absolutely loves cantaloupe, but I do want to try a few different varieties. We also have an Amish melon. I think someone sent this as well. I'm gonna try that. And a Maldives melon. So we'll see how that goes with the melons. My daughter loves melons. I do not eat melons. I thought I would like them in the freeze dryer. I did not. And so with that being said, they will all be for my daughter. One of the ones they definitely tell you to direct sow is corn. I am going to start it in the house. Now, the corn, I probably will not start this tonight while I'm sitting here. I probably will wait 2 more weeks to start the corn, just because I don't plan to plant out until May. And so I don't want these in a sale tray for 4 weeks, because corn doesn't really like its roots disturbed. But if you don't let them sit in the tray too long, you absolutely can do it, and it's not going to cause a problem. So these we will probably start basically at our last predicted frost. If I was doing this and planning to plant out at our last predicted frost, my 2 weeks would be when I would plant my corn. And then we're also going to start some sunflowers. Some of these sunflowers are going to go into the green stalk, and it's really just one. This is a teddy bear sunflower, which I tore the words, but nope, there it goes. Look at that. Teddy bear sunflower. Those are really pretty, really bushy. They kind of look furry like a teddy bear. Very beautiful. I may also end up putting some of those into the flower bed as well. And then we're gonna do the tiger eye, which I think is just beautiful. Like, I love the colors on that. So we're gonna start those too. Now these I may honestly put out like at our last frost. For one, because sunflowers grow like really fast. Honestly, I'm probably gonna have a whole bunch that actually volunteer. When I say volunteer, it's just like a seed fell during the year, stayed in the soil over the winter. When the weather is right, it's gonna pop up and start to grow. Sunflowers do that in my garden all the time. Borage does that in my garden all the time. Marigolds do that in my garden. So there are a lot of things that may volunteer. I normally keep it. Oh, beans. And at this point, I leave the beans on the trellis, let them fall and let them grow. Because last year, I don't think I had to start any purple potted pole beans, because they all volunteered on the trellis closer to the storage greenhouse. And then we're gonna do a tall sunflower. I very much like the mammoth sunflowers, all out of seeds. And like I said, I was not buying seeds this year. I was gonna use what we have. Hopefully the tall sunflower is just as nice or close to as nice as the mammoth sunflower. And then the last thing we are gonna start is beans. Beans can be direct sown easily. When I do my second succession, more than likely, unless when I show you how I plan to start these, I may still start them early, because I feel like I have an easier way to do that this year, where I won't feel like I'm being burdened where I won't feel like I'm being burdened by it. So anywho, we're gonna do some royal burgundy. I do like to have colors in my garden. This is a bush bean. What that means is it's gonna bush out. It's gonna give us a big old flush of beans, and then I can either pull that plant and re-sow so that I can get another big flush, or I can wait a little while. I don't know what I'm gonna do this year. We're gonna do dragon tongue beans. Like if you were here last year, you remember this is very close to the purple potted pole beans for me. They were really good. They're a bush variety, but they were really good, really tender to me. I really, really like them. A lot of the tender beans are skinny, like you pick them when they're small. These didn't have to be super small to be tender, and so I was very happy with those. Last year was my first time, and then they're just so pretty. So with that being the case, I was like, okay, definitely growing those again. Oh, and I mentioned purple potted pole beans. I have some in the back that I saved, but I also left them on the vine last year. I'm thinking that we're probably just gonna get a whole bunch that will volunteer. I will move them closer to the trellis if I need to, but we probably won't need to start a lot of these, and we don't have a lot of seeds anyway. And then the black turtle beans, y'all. I eat a lot of black beans. I love black beans. I don't know how many cans of black beans I have downstairs, so I want to grow a lot. This year, last year, I basically grew them to get seed. So all of these are also black bean seeds. I'm gonna have a whole bed. That middle block bed is gonna be black beans. So that whole bed all year for the most part is gonna be black beans, because black beans are one of the beans that I let dry on the vine so that I can save them. So I'm hopeful to get a whole bunch of black beans. I'm not mixing any other beans in with them. I want these black beans, y'all. And I almost forgot something. This is a sugar cube cantaloupe. So cantaloupe we're going through and trying to find the best variety this year too. We have a sugar cube cantaloupe as well that we are going to grow with our melons. And I got those from Javon over at Imperfect Creations. She gave them to me. They're from 2024. So we're going to grow those. We're going to pay attention. We're going to see which ones grow best for us in our backyard. And so at this point, y'all, those are the last of the seeds that I need to get planted. Oh, also, just like with the corn, I'm not dropping the beans until 2 weeks from now because they also don't enjoy having their roots disturbed. But if you don't leave them in the pot too long or have to pot them up, in my experience, if I don't leave them in the pot too long and if I don't have to pot them up, then they do just fine transplanting. So these will get started in 2 weeks. Everything else, we're gonna get started now. The squash, because we're gonna plant these out in 2 weeks, and squash just don't take long to get big. Like the plant can get big real quick. They'll be going out like April 1st. And then everything else, I probably, if they start to get too big, like the cucumbers and the sunflowers, I'll just go ahead and plant them out. They're very easy to get started. They germinate really quickly. So if we lose them, that's okay. So yeah, that's what we're starting. Tell me what you're starting and how many weeks you're away from your last predicted frost. If you are new to gardening, you can find that information over on the Farmer's Almanac, or you literally can just Google last frost date for your zip code and it will pop up. That's how you know when you should start your seeds. So even if you're in zone 7B like me, we still could have a different last frost date. But I would be interested because I watch YouTube and I see people who are just now starting peppers or haven't started anything because it's just not time for them, or they're just starting their spring seeds. So yeah, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what y'all are starting. Anywho, let's go have a gander at these tomatoes real quick. They are not very big, y'all. Not very big at all. Let me turn some light on down here. So nothing is very big, and these are zinnias right here. But we got everything potted up. And like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 trays with pretty much all tomatoes, and they going outside tomorrow. Oh, I did this in the community section. These are the pine berries. Those were the white looking strawberries that we had started together from a berry from the store. And everybody was wondering, well, not everybody, a lot of people were wondering what happened. The pine berries have germinated and are still germinating. So I have them down here because I'm going to put them under lights. I'm not seeing anything in the strawberries yet, but if you remember, I said that this took a while when I did it. If you remember, we did ended up getting some mold or fungus on the top. I ended up taking them out of the plastic bags because that told me there was too much humidity. And so we still got germination, y'all. When we got that mold, there were people that were like, yeah, just don't do this or don't do that. But it's literally the way I started all of my strawberries, and I ain't even been paying attention to these like I told y'all in one of my last videos, but it's the way I started all of my strawberries before what I purchased from the farmer's market this last time and from what I purchased from that store. It's literally the way that I started all of my strawberries. So I have no reason to think that this does not work because it's how I did it. Oh, also, if you tried it, I know one person told me they tried it. Someone sent me a message on Instagram, so I know they tried it. If you tried it, tell me if it worked for you. Tell me if you have germination yet. I would be interested, y'all. But, oh, I know what I meant to show y'all. Hold on one second. So this is what I'm gonna use to start my 2-week away seedlings because it's gonna save me space. Also, I'm hopeful that I don't have to up pot them at all. That's the quail, sorry y'all. It scared me. So this is what will go outside when I plant as well. They did really well for the tomatoes. Tomatoes were never gonna last in here forever though. This is what I plan to use for those things because hopefully this will be their one place and this is gonna save me so much space under the lights. And I did order some more like I told y'all. They gifted me this one. I ordered the rest of them. I feel like I woke the quail up and they just not happy with me. But anyway, y'all, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.